everybody, welcome to another episode of Virtual Tween Baking. It is October, so I thought we'd do a really fun fall recipe. Today we're going to be making caramel stuffed baked apples. So what we're going to be doing is stuffing these apples with caramel and putting a really nice crumbly oat topping on top and baking them directly in the oven. And then you kind of eat the whole stuffed apple. So we're going to hollow them out, fill it with some good stuff, top it with some good stuff, and eat them. So I just want to walk you through what ingredients and supplies you should have in your kits before we get started. So for the actual apple stuffing part, you will have 4 apples in your kit. And like I said, we'll end up kind of hollowing these out a little bit, cutting the tops off, and filling them with some caramels. So you should have 8 caramels in your kit. The ones you guys will have will be wrapped up, and you're going to end up unwrapping those. And you should be left with 8 individual little caramels that we'll be stuffing into our apples. And then you're going to have some cinnamon to sprinkle on top of your apples also, as well as a little bit of cinnamon to go into our topping. For our topping, we are going to have 1/4 cup of oats. We are going to have 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. We're going to have 1/3 cup of brown sugar. So this is going to smell amazing. This is going to taste amazing. All the good parts of fall. We're going to have a little bit more cinnamon to mix into that. And then 4 tablespoons of chilled butter that we're going to cut into our topping, which basically, I'll get into that when we get to that step. In your kit, you will also have a foil baking sheet that you can put your apples in. And I believe that is it. So it's kind of minimal ingredients, a pretty easy recipe, shouldn't take too long. So I am going to start preheating my oven at 400 degrees. That's step number 1. And I will meet you guys at step number 2. All right, so oven is preheating to 400 degrees. And what you're going to need is kind of a small to medium bowl, and we're going to make our topping first. So we're going to need our oats, our flour, our brown sugar, and our cinnamon, and our cold butter. So first, we're kind of going to just mix in all of those dry ingredients, and then we're going to chop up the butter a little bit and cut that in, which basically means we don't want it to be... We basically want to leave the butter into little crumb-sized bits. We don't want this to be one giant mushy consistency. We want everything to still be kind of separated. We want the butter to still stay in little chunks and not be totally melted and totally soft. So the colder the butter for this part, the better. So let's see, we're going to need our oats in the bowl. We're going to need our flour in the bowl, and these are pre-measured for you guys. We're gonna need brown sugar in our bowl and our cinnamon. And for our cinnamon, this part was 1/3 teaspoon of cinnamon. I have to measure this part out for myself. 1/3 teaspoon. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is give this part, for this step, I'm gonna give these all a good mix here. And if some of the brown sugar is still a little chunky or anything like that, it's actually fine. It kind of adds to that crumble topping consistency. All right, so here is my kind of crumbly mixture. Now we just need to cut up our butter and cut that in there. So for this part, you can use a fork if you want. You're just gonna kind of gently press it in, but like I was saying, you still wanna keep it into like little crumb-sized bits, resembling kind of wet sand, not just one big mushy blob of butter and ingredients. So for our butter, like I was saying, we should have 4 tablespoons. I'm actually going to cut mine up a little bit. You don't want to handle it with your hands too much because our hands are warm and that will actually make the butter start melting. So I'm trying to touch it as little as possible, cutting it into kind of some bigger chunks here. And then I'm going to throw this into my dry ingredient topping mixture and kind of coat it and crumble it up a little bit. So I'm tossing that in there. So like I was saying, for this part, you can use a fork and kind of press things in there. But another really easy way to do this is to just use your clean hands. So that's what I like when I make pie dough and stuff like that, where you have to like, cut in the butter. I actually end up using my hands. I like to feel the consistency of the butter and make sure that it's not getting too melted. I like to feel the little bits of it, but again, not overworking it, not melting the butter with our hands too much. I'm kind of just smushing it up and then gently tossing it. Smushing it and tossing it. But you can see I still have some actual like chunks in here, and that's kind of what we want. So I'm gonna smush it a little bit without it actually liquefying. Smushing it and then tossing it in the dry ingredients. And we should be left with kind of little crumb size butter bits for our topping. And this already smells really good with the brown, and my oven's preheated, yay! But this already smells really good with the brown sugar and the cinnamon. This is gonna be awesome. So these will be going on top of our stuffed apples. All right. And I'm just being careful here not to overwork this. We still want some nice chunks. And if you find that the butter's starting to melt too much, that's either you can use your fork to kind of chop things up a bit, or you can put it back in the fridge and let things chill a little bit more. But this part, I mean, there's really no perfect way to do it. You don't want to overthink it. You just want to make sure your butter's kind of chopped up in little crumb-sized bits there, and everything's kind of coated in this topping mixture. So this is kind of what I'm left with here. And you can see there's some chunks of butter in there. You can see the oats. You can see there's like everything's kind of mixed up in there and ready to go. So I'm not gonna overdo it and mess with that too much. I'm actually gonna put that aside. And we are going to be moving on to step number 3. All right, step number 3 is cut off the tops of each apple. So you will need a sharp knife to do this, and if you need a grown-up's help, make sure you've got a grown-up there helping you out cutting these off. Apples can be a little tricky, a little slippery sometimes, so be very careful doing this step. Take your time with it, and make sure you've got an adult there with you to help you, okay? So I'm going to cut off the top of my apple like that. We're not cutting it like completely in half. I'm just cutting the top off, and we're gonna put that aside. I'm gonna do that to each of my apples. That one was a little better. I think I might have taken a little too much off the first one. So just cutting off the top there, like that. And you can see there's still that core in there. We are gonna kind of scoop that out and hollow that out. And last one. All right, apple tops aside, and we will go right into step number 4, which is with a melon scoop or a spoon, scoop out the core of the apple. Make sure to remove all the seeds, but leave the bottom intact so that you have an apple bowl. Perfect for stuffing with delicious caramel. So I'm gonna use a spoon for this step, and I'm gonna kind of just make a little bit of a circle. We're gonna dig out this core, whoops, with this spoon. And actually, mine just kind of popped right out there. I might go a little bit deeper here. I'm gonna make sure that there's no seeds buried in here. And we're gonna do this with each of our apples. And yeah, if you look in here, there actually are some seeds down there. So you wanna scoop down, like it was saying, almost to the bottom of the apple, but don't go all the way through. We still wanna keep this in a nice bowl shape. Yep, all those seeds are coming out. We don't want any of that kind of tough core part of it. All right. I think that's good. So there, look how cool that looks. That is my little apple bowl. So I'm going to do that with the next 3 of my apples until I have 4 little apple bowls. And then we are going to move on to step number 5, where we stick the caramels, 2 caramels in each one. So I'm gonna keep scooping this out. And I will meet you guys at step number 5. All right, apple bowls are now hollowed out, and I can see they're already starting to brown a little bit, so we do want to work fairly quickly here and get these in the oven, but luckily all the hard part is done. There's not too much more to do. We get to now stuff our apples with caramel. So you've got your 8 caramels set aside. We are going to put 2 caramels in each apple. So here's 2. Oh my gosh, these are going to be great. 1, 2, 2 in this one, 2 in this one, and finally 2 in the last one. And as well as the caramels, we are going to sprinkle about 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon over each of these. So I'm just going to take my cinnamon, do a little bit there. I'm kind of just eyeballing it, dividing it into fourths like that. Does not have to be perfect. Ooh, this is going to be great. All right, there is our caramel and our cinnamon in our apples. And finally, we are going to generously sprinkle the tops of the 4 of these with our crumb topping. So to do this, I'm actually going to put my 4 apples in my baking sheet here. And that's why I'm glad we kept the bottoms on these so they can still kind of sit up, stand up straight on their own. And now we are going to generously sprinkle with crumb topping. So all that crumb topping we made in the beginning, we're going to divide that into 4s. And again, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And I'm going to sprinkle it over each apple. So I'm actually going to press it just slightly so it kind of sits there. Oh man, I cannot wait to try these. And if any of that crumb topping kind of spills out into the outer parts of this bowl, that's totally fine. You can still eat it when it's probably gonna have some apple drippings, possibly some caramel leaked into it. So that'll just be like extra goodness for you to eat when this comes out of the oven and cools a little bit. So again, just to use up the rest of this crumble, I'm just sprinkling on top. Oh boy, all right. These look amazing. Here, I'll show you. There we go. All right, so finally, it's funny actually, on my camera, it kind of reminds me of like stuffed tomatoes, but it's the dessert version. It's stuffed apples. So now all we have to do is pop these in the oven, which is preheated at 400, and we're gonna bake them for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm gonna probably check, after about 20 minutes, see if they've kind of softened up a bit, if they're baked through. But hopefully next time you see me, I will have 4 delicious baked caramel cinnamon stuffed apples. All right, I'm gonna pull these out of the oven now. Ooh! Oh my gosh. They are sizzling. Oh my gosh, these smell amazing. All right, here are the 4 caramel baked stuffed apples. Ready? Ta-da! Look at that, and look at all that extra crumb topping around the side there. What I'm actually gonna do with a fork is take some of that topping that came off and kind of put it back on top of each of these apples. This is totally optional. You could also just eat the topping on its own. And by the way, I recommend serving these with like vanilla ice cream or whipped cream or something like that, or you could just eat them on their own. These look so good. And they're very, very hot. The recipe says to serve them while they're warm, but when you take them out of the oven, let them cool down a little bit. It's gonna have hot caramel on the inside. Okay, here we go. And this is very hot, like I was saying. Yum. It kind of smells, it basically is kind of like an apple crumble or an apple crisp. I'm going to cut into this and we're going to see what the inside looks like. If it's got that caramel. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Can you see that? The caramel is like oozing out. Yum. I cannot wait to eat this. Like I said, get some vanilla ice cream, get some whipped cream, and dig in. These look amazing. These smell amazing, and they're nice and soft too. Don't eat them while they're molten hot. That caramel will burn you. Let it cool a little bit if you can wait, and then dig in. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. It's a really great recipe for fall. Maybe you could make it on Thanksgiving for your family. I hope you guys enjoy this. Thank you for doing another episode of Tween Baking with me, and I will see you next time. Enjoy!